Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is, what day is it? It's Wednesday. Congratulations. Welcome to our Circle Up. My name is Jim Tanner. This is our Wednesday, 11:15 a.m. Eastern, Agents of Change, all hands Circle Up meeting, and I'm excited to be here with you. For those of you that normally join me at all of these Zoom events, you notice that things look a little bit different. I'm actually on Cape Cod Bay today. Holly Lavarro also lives in Cape Cod, but on the other side of the bay. So Holly, I'm going to wave to you in a minute, and we'll maybe we can see each other across the lighthouse. But I'm excited to be here with you. I think that right now we're at this midpoint of the month. It's the 14th of June. It's the midpoint of the year. When we wrap up June, we're going to be halfway through the year. And for so many of you, you're just now getting your business launched. You've joined in the last handful of days or handful of weeks, and we're excited for you to be here. And also for some of you, you have been with us for a while. And on January 1st or December 31st, you are setting goals, meaningful goals that you wanted to achieve in the coming year. And I'm here to tell you that wherever you find yourself on the path to those goals, as long as they're clear, you have plenty of time to keep those promises you made to yourself on January 1st. And one of the great things about our business, and perhaps one of my favorite things about our business, is that we get to do it collaboratively. So I've got some comments for you, some thoughts that I'm going to share, and then I'm going to turn it over to some of our leaders that I've set up as co-hosts so they can share some thoughts if they'd like to as well. And we're going to do this in about 30 minutes or less. But today, because I wasn't with you last Wednesday, I again want to just say I'm just so excited about what we've been doing and what we've been accomplishing and what you've all been accomplishing on a day-to-day basis. And let's kind of wrap our minds around what's been going on. Excuse me. First of all, we're in this incredibly positive situation where we have a cadence throughout the week. So today, this is our Circle Up, our all hands. And I should mention that as we move through the summer, this 11:15 a.m. Eastern time slot, we are going to adjust this. Now, we haven't picked the next, what day we're going to do this, but we do know that we're going to move this meeting to an evening time. And why do we want to do that? Well, first of all, because evening on the East Coast is still just late afternoon, sometimes on the West Coast. And as we're growing coast to coast in the United States and Canada, which includes Alaska, includes Hawaii, we know a lot of you are accessing this on replay, and we would like to select a time where more of you could come and be with us live. And so we're going to be doing that as we move through this summer month, through June, July, and August. We will come to a decision on what day and time that this event is going to be. And then we're gonna pick carefully so we don't have to move it again. And so that's what's going to be happening with our Circle Up meeting. Now let me take you to our Monday. So we had a meeting on Monday morning, 11:15 a.m. Eastern. That's our mastermind. And some people say, well, what's a mastermind about? And who's invited? Well, first of all, we like to call it leaders at all levels. Whatever level you're at, you might be just starting your business, you might be an executive director. But if your goal is to make the most of your business, and I would say, with a goal of at least earning a six-figure annual income with your Legal Shield business, join us on the mastermind, because we're going to be talking about how to build a productive team of professionals that are independent associates, that are able to win in their business, and they're a part of your business. And we're going to be talking about that each and every Monday in the mastermind. Of course, that's also available, as everything is, on replay at agentsofchange.team/resources. And Monday nights, really, this has become the crown jewel of our team. And I know so many of you are excited about Monday nights, because on Monday evenings at 9:00 p.m. Eastern, we come together, the whole team, but then also our guests, our prospects are coming in and hearing for themselves about our company, about our services, about our opportunity. And we have now a 6-week streak of these meetings where every week we've had one or more new associates sign up during the break and then prepare to come back and join us for the getting started portion of the training. Isn't that exciting that we have this destination event? And as you're moving through the week, I'm going to talk about recruiting here in a couple minutes, but as you're moving through the week, to always know that you have this destination event on Monday nights, where people that have seen some information have a place where they can learn the whole story and meet the team. They hear testimonials, they get a little bit of my story, and they get a sense of just how important the work that we do is. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to share with you for a few minutes so that you can train on this yourself as you're building your team. And so that and to make sure that we all know that this is a powerful, simple business model that can change lives. I mean, honestly, it's changed my life. Some of you know my story. I started this business broke, working and commuting 2 jobs, 80 hours a week, and couldn't pay my bills. But today I have a completely different lifestyle. Like I said, we're at our beach house in Cape Cod. We have our home where I normally am zooming from. And let me see, I don't know if I can do this, but let me see if I can spin this. Just give you, I'm in my bedroom here. And that is the lookout over Cape Cod Bay from our upstairs balcony. This is something that I dreamed of. And when I say dream of, I mean, now I know it's not everybody's dream, but it was certainly mine, because I would come and I'd visit here and I'd stay for a day or two at a hotel. Once a year, we'd save up and we'd rent a house for the week, always dreaming of the day that we'd have our own address, our own part of Cape Cod. And because of this business as the vehicle, I was able to do that. Now, not to impress you, but to impress upon you that if I can do this with no education and never owned a business before, then you can too, regardless of where you come from. And because it's a highly duplicatable and simple business model, that means that you can pay this forward, what somebody did for you, to share this opportunity with them, and they have a chance to win. Not a situation where you just get somebody excited and then watch them fail, but they can follow a proven system that people from every walk of life have already followed and have had success with. So let's talk about that. Now, you've seen it so many times. Hopefully you've already been through Fast Start class. You've seen the Getting Started training. You've probably absorbed a lot of trainings up to this point. You've seen this expressed as a baseball diamond. And you might be saying, especially if you've been around a while, Jim, I got it. I don't need it. I just want you to know the temptation when you're leading a team of people and that team is growing, the temptation is to come to the group every time we meet with something new, to build on something that we already talked about, to give you a tweak or another way to look at it. That's the temptation. Here's another way to say that. The temptation is to complicate a simple system. But what I want for you to have is an environment where you can, throughout the week, build your team, get people into production, and then keep bringing them back to an environment where they're going to learn the fundamentals of this business that allow them to grow. In other words, what you are hearing is exactly what the people that are going to join your team next week need to hear. So let's talk about this baseball diamond, and I'm going to step aside. I'm going to let you hear from a few of our agents of change this morning. And I'm going to talk about specific best practices that I believe are important. So let's talk about this idea of a baseball diamond. Why is it a baseball diamond? Well, at least in North America, it's universally understood. Even if you're not a baseball fan, you know how a baseball diamond works. Now, I've certainly trained on it where I've shown it as a left to right progression. That works too for most people's mind. But the great thing about a baseball diamond is you can see not only what are the steps, but you can see that it duplicates. In other words, what I do with a prospect to help them learn about our company and our opportunity, to learn how our business model works. What I do with them when we walk that baseball diamond, when we run the bases, I'm actually already training them on exactly how to build their business. So by the time, if you were recruiting me into your team, and by the way, that would have been a good idea because you would have earned hundreds of thousands of dollars already had you done that. But any one person can change your entire business. And had you showed this business to me and taken me around the baseball diamond, again, we call it running the bases. By the time I got ready to sign up, I would have already been trained on exactly how the business works, on exactly what to do. And the first time I do it with a prospect, all that does is just confirm for me that I already know that the system works. And when people trust the system, they use the system. So let's talk about this baseball diamond. First of all, first base is exposure. This is the whole idea, is that we get a tool in front of a prospect so that they can have the gift of hearing and learning the same information that you heard and learned. Meaning that our temptation is, especially as new associates, our temptation is to join the business and then go tell somebody about the business, especially once we've been through first step training, fast start class. Now we are educated, we have a lot of information. Now we're dangerous to our own business because now we can go tell somebody everything. And I remember in my Fast Start class, them telling me, don't undermine the system by explaining to people. And when I went and I met with Bill Sharon, who was the first person at the top of my list, some of you know his story, 7,000 memberships, a $200,000 ring earner in his team, a $50,000 ring earner in his team. He's about to break another $50,000 ring earner in his team, all because I had a cup of coffee with Bill Sharon. And instead of explaining to him what I was so excited about, I played him a tape. I played him a video so he could see it for himself. And he said, I'm in. And we joined on this journey together. So the first tip I want to give you is when you're doing an exposure, give the gift of doing what duplicates, not just what works. Some of you are exceptional trainers, speakers, and motivators. And you could explain our business to that new prospect and they would probably sign up. But the question is, could that person then go do what you did? And more dangerous is in the back of the head of the prospect, they're thinking, whether they say this or not, they're thinking, can I do what you just did? Do I have time to do what you just did? And would I be comfortable doing what you just did with my friends, my family, my relatives, people in the community? And if the answer to any of those questions is no in their mind, they're probably not going to join your team. So the best exposure is a third-party tool, and the best third-party tool we have today, 2023 and beyond, is this incredible tool called Prospect. Because Prospect, the mobile app, and I know some of you prefer the desktop experience, but however you experience it, I always use the mobile app. That Prospect app allows me to share an unlimited number of videos with people. You know, you've heard me say, when I got started, I had one VHS tape. That one VHS tape, I took it with me. I played it for people. I took it home with me when I was done with it. But it was very limiting back then. Things moved slowly then. You know, we used to have a commitment where we would say, we would agree that, okay, once a week, we're going to mail one of these tools to somebody that doesn't live near us, someone we can't just go to and play the video for them. We're going to mail them one. And I remember I couldn't afford to do that. I couldn't afford the postage. I couldn't afford the extra tape. So I didn't do that. I was frustrated. But today, borders are meaningless. We're open for business across the United States and Canada, and you can text somebody a link to that video anywhere that you want to. Now, the other things, that's one thing. What it does is it allows anyone to not have this overhead of cost of tools, so that with your Prospect app, you can send an unlimited number of exposures out. But that's only one piece of what makes it so great. And I would add that because it's a mobile app and you could take it anywhere with you, now you can recruit busy people, because busy people are the best recruits for your business. And what busy people don't want is a project, they want a system. And the Prospect app is a system. So they can send a text as fast as they can send a text to anybody else. And we send texts all day long. We send emails all day long, right? That's what we do. And so this fits into the world and universe that people understand. So let's just go to this, because I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but to send an exposure through Prospect also means that you get feedback. And I want you to think as this builds throughout your organization. You know, I have people that are a dozen levels, 20 levels, 30 levels below me in my team. And they're able to do the same thing that I'm doing, even without having to talk to me every day about it. Because what we're doing duplicates, and when we keep it simple. And here's one of the things that those new people can do. Even though I'm not working with them hand in hand every day and they don't need me to, what they can do is they can text somebody a link to the video. And they get a feedback on their own phone. So on my phone, when I text somebody the video, I don't have to wonder if they've watched it. I don't have to wonder how much of it they've watched. I don't have to wonder what's going on their end. Because of this technology, I get a notification. You have to turn this on, by the way. There's a push notification setting in the app. But I get a notification when someone clicks the link that I sent to them. I get a notification showing me how much of that video they've watched. If they fill out the contact form that's on the page that they're on, that comes back to me as well as another notification. Isn't that exciting? I don't have to wonder. And there was a period of time where we had websites, which was great because you could do an unlimited number of exposures by sending someone to a website. But this, I say, is far exceeds the website experience, because now I know if somebody has seen the information or not seen the information. And it allows me to prioritize who I follow up with and when. And it allows me to build my business in slices of time and to be able to prioritize the most profitable activities. So That's first base, getting somebody to see the information. By the way, inviting people to an exposure is the one thing that you and I control above everything else. Now, a lot of folks love to be in control. And I just want to caution you, as you're working with your team, you're going to be working with a lot of new associates that want to be in control. Some of you are those people. You're like, I want to be in control. Here's what we control. We control the number of people that we expose to the business. We don't control whether or not they join the business. We don't control when they join the business. The timing has to be right for people. It has to line up with their needs and the timing of those needs. And for all of us, at some point, the timing was right. Now, some of you, like me, you saw it, you were actively searching. I was aggressively searching for what I was going to do. And that's some of you, right? And some of you, you weren't searching and this came into your life and it wasn't exactly the right time. So your friend or a family member or a person that you'd never met before, a stranger, followed up with you. So let's talk about this baseball then. So with that exposure process, that's what you and I control, getting people to watch the video. And isn't it great that your newest associates, and you, if you're new, you don't have to memorize a presentation. You don't have to be good at a presentation because the people that are already great at the presentation recorded it and it's in the prospect app. So right now, most of us are using the Liz LeCue and Darnell Self video. It's 19 minutes and change, has all the information that people need to see, and you can let someone else do the presentation. Remember I said that your best recruits are busy people? Your best recruits are busy people, and they don't want to always have to go have a cup of coffee and spend 30 minutes doing a presentation. Now, some of them do. I like doing that when I have time, but a lot of folks love the idea of being able to send a link, have somebody watch the video. And that's the exposure. That's the first base. Now, someone that woke up this morning, let's think about this for a second. Someone that woke up this morning and had no idea that Legal Shield exists, that ID Shield exists, that the opportunity to earn income and work from anywhere and create residual income and a book of business for the future exists. They had no clue until you stepped into their life and exposed them to what we do. And now they know what their options are. And by the way, core commitment number 3 in our business is to do that twice a day, to get 2 people a day to learn what we're doing so that they can make it a decision for themselves. So that's number 1 is exposure. And then the second part of that process, and by the way, I should mention that for most people, you're going to follow up with them to get them to watch the video. You know why? We've talked about this with some of you, and I know you've heard me say this, but I get sent videos every day. My wife will send me videos, something she wants me to watch on Instagram. Friends will send me YouTube videos. It's not weird to get sent videos. Sometimes I don't get to those videos, even if I intend to watch them. So when a friend says that they'll watch this video and you send it over to them and they don't watch it, you don't have to be offended because we're professionals and we understand that people are busy. And we also understand that watching that video is never going to come in front of taking care of their kids, going to work, the responsibilities of their day-to-day life. But if you follow up with someone, they're more likely to move that up in their list of priorities. Now, again, it's not going to go in front of feeding their kids or getting them to school on time or any of that stuff, but it could go higher up when you follow up. So you follow up to get somebody to move up in the priorities list watching the video. And when they do watch the video, oftentimes you have a great, excited prospect. And that's where we get to step 2, which is to involve a third-party expert. Anyone else, you're seeing a whole grid view of people that are willing to do 3-way calls with you. I am, and all the leaders are. You don't need someone that's made $1 million in the business. A lot of times, that's actually not helpful, especially if the prospect is still a little bit skeptical, right? So sometimes people say, well, who can I get that's made the most money to do a 3-way call? Sometimes the person that joined a week ago is the best 3-way call. Because a 3-way call is just really somebody telling their story about why they decided to get started in Legal Shield, about the solutions that they see for their family. Maybe it's to retire a spouse. Maybe it's to save money for one of their kids' educations or a wedding. And having people share those thoughts quickly is really what helps somebody see how this could be the vehicle for them. So 3-way call training is available in the Prospect app. You'll see that there's a great 3-way call training in there. And that's really the second step, is to involve an expert. And again, you're all the experts. I'm an expert. We're all people that are experts compared to the prospect who's only seen 19 minutes of information. And we can share a testimonial. And now, a lot of times, people are ready to get signed up once they see the information. I'm seeing this over and over again with the 19-minute video. People are saying, this is a no-brainer. I got it. I'm in. But also what you're going to see and experience is that sometimes people want to talk to more people. They want to think about it. They're kind of the type of folks that want to think about it some more. So your third-party expert will certainly answer their questions, but we'll also invite them to learn more information. Maybe we want to get them some additional information about our business solutions side of the house so that they can learn about that. Maybe we want to invite them to the Monday night business overview or an in-person business overview. Those are happening all over the country right now. So we have all these other ways that we can give somebody more information, introduce them to more members of the team, and that's what your third-party expert will help with. The expert will also, and that's kind of to take them to the third step, which is to sign them up, right? We've got somebody, they've seen some information and they're ready to get started, and we can sign them up on our new websites the way we have it today in about 3 minutes. It's incredibly exciting. So again, you've got this baseball diamond: exposure, third-party expert, the expert if necessary, the third base, they'll invite them to another exposure process, maybe another video, maybe a live event, and then signing somebody up to get started in the business. And we've never had a more simple, straightforward, everybody can do it, paint by numbers, onboarding process than we have right now. It's called First Step and Fast Start. First Step and Fast Start. We take people to the First Step training so they can get acclimated through those videos 24/7. At any point in time, somebody can join your team and in that moment, move right into the First Step training videos. They don't have to log into anything. They don't have to wait for an appointment to get started. First Step allows them to get started right away. And during First Step, Don Thompson in one of those videos will explain exactly how to get registered for Fast Start. And Fast Start is a live over Zoom training experience, so that does have a time. Your new associate's going to pick a time and a day that works for them, and we're going to get them into the Fast Start class. Isn't that exciting? But watch this, and I'm out of time for what I wanted to share. But by taking somebody through that the correct way, by doing what duplicates, not just what works, you've already trained them on how the system works. So now if you did that with me, you can say, Jim, here's what you and I just did. This is what we do. And I will trust it because I just saw it work, because it worked on me. And when people have faith in the system, they'll lean into the system. They'll use the system. When people don't recognize the system or they don't understand it or they don't believe in it, they start to invent their own way to do it. And when they do that, they always struggle because we have the way to do it. So I hope that's helpful for you. That's exactly what I'm doing. People always say, Jim, tell me exactly what you're doing. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm running the baseball diamond. I'm exposing people. And by the way, you can see I'm accountable to you. If you go into your prospect app, we have 2 tracking boards or leaderboards. One for the Liz LeCue and Darnell Self video, where every time you get somebody to watch that video in the month of June, you get a point. And there's a leaderboard ranking. It will show you your ranking, no matter what that ranking is. And it will also show you, I think, the top 10. And then also we have another incentive board or a leaderboard in the prospect app that shows if you're sending any materials, any of the resources to someone, and they interact with that, you get a point. So there's 2 going right now. You'll see my name in the top 10 in the Liz LeCue and Darnell Self, because that's exactly what I'm using. And you can join me in that leaderboard as well, just by sharing that video today. For no other reason, share it because somebody did it for you and you want to pay that forward. Because right now people are suffering in silence. They want a great opportunity with a real company, not some flash in the pan or somebody that talks quick and makes something seem like a good idea, but someone like what we do, 51 years in business, $2 billion company, paying $100 million a year to the field and another $100 million a year to the attorneys, making sure that equal access to equal justice happens in our lifetime, fulfilling our founder's vision. So that's what I wanted to share with you. I also wanted to open up, now Yvette Eldridge, I'm gonna put you on the spot for a second, because you were just talking about how before we got started, how the system allows you to step away. And I'd love for you to share that for the benefit of everybody that joined since we hit record, and of course, everybody that's watching the replay as well, if you don't mind.
Thanks, Jim Tanner. I certainly appreciate the opportunity to be able to speak to everyone. Real life happens, and I had a month where I had to take care of family matters that was draining, emotional, and I couldn't focus on my everyday life. Even my bills went by the wayside. But what I learned and what I told Jim was the beautiful thing about building up this business and working with these wonderful people is that while I could not participate. I could not move forward in my business. My team was able to do that. And because of that, I was still making money. And that was really an eye opener for me, because at the end of the day, while I knew that, I hadn't experienced it, and I got to experience it in real life, so that I could be able to share with you that it works. It works. This is a beautiful company. It has a great service. We're doing a good job empowering, protecting people, and we're doing it for the right reasons. And so if you build a solid team underneath you, they will rise you up when you can't. Thank you, Jim.
Yvette, thank you so much. And Venus and Sonora, I don't know if either of you are a place where you can unmute, but I would love to hear your thoughts on, you're watching people, both of you, where people are doing this thing where they're starting in the business, they're encountering the training, they're taking advantage of the training, they're showing up at live events, and they're having these transformations. I've talked to both of you separately about this, where you're seeing people have this experience where they're not just joining the business, but they're, we say the business moves from your head to your heart, but I think more accurately what I'm talking about is they see the real potential of the business. Because a lot of folks come in and they just want to make a little extra money, and that's okay. I mean, I wanted to make $400 a week. I didn't have a goal to become a millionaire, but when I saw the big picture, I started to see that. And Venus, I know that you're seeing that with your team showing up at live events, Super Saturdays and stuff. And if you have any thoughts about that or anything else, you're welcome to take it away.
Now you do have to build a solid team, and you have to help the people who are doing the work. When they're doing the work, you do everything in your power to support them. And I have a great team, and I would not have made senior director if it had not been for my team. I mean, they just really showed up, and we're all in it together. I help them every day. I chat back and forth with them all day, even on the weekends. Answer questions. I do Zooms with them, and you have to do that, and you have to be the example. And I know it looks like I just like to run around and go to events, but that's so not true. I go to the event to be an example and to have people know that it's a commitment, and that's what this business is. I go pick up people so they can come to the event, and you have to. And I post a lot of it because I want people to see. I'm friends with all my team on Facebook. I want people to see that, I was there. I took the time to be there, and if they, they take the time to be there too. And so when they start to see that in their business, Vicki Fremont has a new associate. Her name is Sanique Robinson. She Fast Start qualified and PC'd, and she started on the Monday before. Week and a half before the end of the month. And she is a musician and singer, and she, at every event, she was talking to people about Legal Shield. And she said that she had seen a lot of businesses like this, but when she saw what Legal Shield had the power to do, and then, she's already got her first bonus. She got paid every day of her first week being in the business. And, and her goal is, some independence and to continue to support her music. And her story is incredible. And when you meet people like that, you want to do everything you can to help them and support them. And I have a lot of those type of people. Dagmar Speciale, she's a fashion designer, and she's growing her business so that she can focus on designing her clothes and getting her clothing line launched. And so it's a great thing to have people have a motivator outside of this, and using this as their foundation. And so that's why I love this company.
Venus, thank you very much. And as we're wrapping up today, I just want to say, go ahead and put it in the chat if you have Super Saturday or another event that's going on this weekend. I'll be in Hartford, Connecticut for the combined New England and New York event, which is going to feature $1 million ring earner, Mr. Darnell Self. That's going to be this Friday and Saturday, a Q&A, Friday night, Saturday, Super Saturday with Mr. Self. I know Florida, I'm just helping you guys out a little bit. I know Florida has a Florida combined event going on this Saturday. That event is taking place in Orlando. You're going to have ring earners and Millionaire Club members speaking at that event. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. I just saw Columbia, South Carolina go by on the chat. So plug in the LegalShieldCalendar.com to get information about what's coming up in your area and the area where your team members are. Also, there's an event section in the Prospect app. I'll just share this, that when you pull an event in the Prospect app, you can actually send that event to an associate on your team. So they can see it, they can get it as a text message and get all the information, which means that your new associate doesn't have to necessarily go navigate legalshowcalendar.com and find it for themselves. You can just pull it up and send it over to them directly. So we're gonna have great events throughout the weekend. We're gonna come back together on Monday after a phenomenal weekend and a continue, it's only Wednesday. We're gonna keep growing, keep recruiting, keep doing three-way calls, keep talking to people about starting their business and keeping it simple. All of that's gonna happen. Then when we come back together on Monday, I wanna remind you that I'm gonna be breaking down exactly how to build a six-figure income in an executive director business where you get to the executive director level and you never miss it, because that's really the main component in earning a six-figure income, with the leverage aspect of building a team. So I'm going to teach you what goes into that. And really, none of it's going to be a surprise, but I'm going to help you organize your thinking around how to build an executive director business and how to maintain executive director. I've been executive director qualified for over 12 years every month. And it felt elusive to me before that. But it finally came together in my mind. I'm happy and excited to share that with you. We're going to spend 45 minutes talking about that on Monday at the Mastermind. And again, we will record that as we do everything, and it'll be available at agentsofchange.team/resources, where you can access all the replays and anything else that you need from the team. It's all going to be there. I'll leave this up so you guys can read the chat. I'm going to say goodbye. Thanks to everybody for participating today. Let's have a great Wednesday and a great finish to the month. And I'll join you back here on Monday.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.